Welcome to Shaw's Set Sail. We're going to begin our journey in Barcelona, Spain. Our first excursion is going to be on a bicycle ride throughout Barcelona. After a 9-hour flight from Atlanta, Georgia, we finally landed in Barcelona. We stayed at the Hyatt Regency Barcelona Tower. After we unpacked, we took a quick walk to find out what was in the neighborhood. Check out how Barcelona takes care of their trash. Residents simply throw their trash in these bins, which are emptied and cleaned every night. The neighborhood boasted stunning flowering trees and plants, and the roundabout was beautifully landscaped. What luck! We stumbled upon a McDonald's, but to our surprise, the menu was nothing like what we were accustomed to in the U.S. They served barbecue sandwiches and beer, and adding in a unique twist to our dining experience. After a good night's sleep, we embarked on our e-bike tour. We met at the bike shop and we were introduced to our tour guide, Alfredo Sanchez, from Barcelona E-Bike Photography Tour. You can find his contact information in the description below. We highly recommend him as he provided a fabulous experience during our bike tour. As the tour began, we were in awe of the close proximity of the buildings and the incredible architecture that surrounded us.
This is the city that we are going to discover today, that is Barcelona, right? We started our tour here. We did like this, and we arrived to one important point here, that is Mr. Christopher Columbus here. So, Barcelona was founded by the Romans 2,000 years ago in this small area here that was called Barquino. Barquino was a very small city and was something like this. I don't know if in your city you got mountains. This one here is our mountain. Please don't laugh. It's more like
an arm out.
And all this perimeter here was 1.1 kilometer. It means that was very small city. If we compare the very first Barcelona with Barcelona nowadays, this is this.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Tiny one. So from the century 1 up to century 13, Barcelona basically was like this. At the century 13, what happened? There were many people living here inside of the walls and many people living here outside of the walls. People inside, they were protected, people outside, they were not protected. So people outside wanted to be protected and live here inside, but there was not the space enough. So because of this, Barcelona decided to expand the walls. From here, they expand the walls up to here. What we call La Ramblas today, that is a boulevard, was part of the wall. There were 5 different entrances to the city. Every one of them was something like this. These doors, we cannot see them anymore because we took down already. At the century 19, what happened? Industrial revolution. Because of the industrial revolution, there were many people living here, many people working here, and many factories here inside of the walls. So the factories, they were working a lot, producing a lot of smoke, and the people in Barcelona could not breathe very well because of this. So Barcelona decided to take down the walls. 1854, Barcelona took down all these walls and connected this old part of the city with villages that they were very far in the north. This one is what we call the new part of the city, Eixample, or in English, enlargement. This one is the new part of the city. All the blocks are like octagons with one internal patio inside. Look at the symmetry. This one is the symmetry that we got in the city. Here is the monument, homage from Barcelona to Mr. Christopher Columbus because of the very first international World's Fair that was here in 1888, dedicated to the electricity. So because of this, inside of the column, there is the very first elevator in the city. And Mr. Christopher Columbus that is pointing out there, that obviously is pointing out America. Right? The only problem is that America is exactly that direction. So what happened here? At the very beginning, the statue should point out there, but the people in Barcelona, they were very confused. Like, why is he pointing out inland? He's a sailor, right? It's like, yeah, but America is there. Yeah, I know, but the sea is there. Yeah, but America is there. Yeah, but the sea is there. Yeah, but America, oh my God. So they changed the orientation, and now it's pointing out there that basically it's a random point into the Mediterranean Sea. But you can see,
they're happy. Yeah, everyone's happy.
What you can see very well from the ground is like the super finger of Mr. Christopher Columbus. Yeah. These fingers will be like 40 centimeters long. Instead of this, they built it with 55. In this way, from the ground, you can see very well.
Man, this is awesome.
Dream team. Your friends.
Michael Jordan.
These people, they were like absolutely the VIP people here. Wow. Think about it, that they were the only team that they were not sleeping in the Olympic Village. They refused to sleep there, and they were sleeping in a very luxury yacht. Think about it, that when he died in 1926, everything was like under construction, we can say. In fact, I'm going to show you one photo that you can understand very well here. I told you, like all the walls here, they were broken in 1854, right? These walls here. So Sagrada Familia was built here. The very first stone was in 1882. Means that all this area was still under construction. In fact, they bought the land here because it was very cheap, because there was nothing around, right? And when I'm telling you there was nothing around, I mean it.
Nothing. Wow.
Nice.
Don't see many cows here now.
No.
So this one is 1890s, more or less. So imagine that didn't change a lot to 1926, that is when Gaudi died. So when he died, the problem is that the tram hit him, and the last years of his life, Gaudi was losing a little bit his mind, and very focusing in Sagrada Familia. So he got a really long beard, really long hair, dirty clothes. So the people thought that was like a homeless. So he stayed 3 hours on the ground. They stopped up to 7 taxis, and the 7 taxis refused to cut him because it's like get dirty, the taxi, because he was bleeding, right? So after 7 taxis, the 7 taxi took him to one hospital for poor people that basically they went there to die, right? So at the time, Gaudi was living in Sagrada Familia, like next to Sagrada Familia. So the priest realized at 10 p.m. that he didn't come back from the typical services that he wanted to go to the church, and he was like a little bit worried. And 10:30 was already like something happened. We have to search Antonio Gaudi. We have to find him. They searched in all the hospitals in the city, and 4 in the morning they found him in this hospital, and it was like in a very bad condition to change him to another hospital. Second day, Gaudi, the people thought that was better because he started to open the eyes, like speaking a little bit with the people. And the third day, he died. This is the legend, because it's like the third day as Jesus Christ.
Wow.
We are going to see 3 very important sculptures that they were built at the period, and even today they are like a very, very important. The first one is there, that is the funny or funky lobster. You can see here, the people really love the lobster because it's very smiley, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember our mascot, that was Kobe. This one was our mascot in Barcelona in 1992. Even today, we don't understand which kind of animal was that. A cat, a dog, a fox, a tiger, we don't know. The thing is like the people didn't understand Kobe, and the people didn't like Kobe, right? Imagine if the people didn't like Kobe, that 3 years ago in the middle of the pandemic time, Barcelona people did a joke between Kobe and COVID.
Oh,
no.
Like in 1992, we survived this COVID, and in 2020 we will survive this COVID too. So guys, if you see the eyes and the smile of the lobster, and you can see the eyes and the smile of Kobe, you can see it is the same. Basically, it's like the same artist, right? Javier Mariscal. Javier Mariscal in 1982, I think he got a very complicated year because everybody loved him because of this, and everybody hated him because of this. So, second sculpture really important here in Barcelona is this one here. This is one guy from your country, Roy Lichtenstein, and this is the face of Barcelona. Can you see a face here? There is one eye that is blue, there is another eye that is black, the nose that is blue, and the lips. Right? Yeah. So this one here is like Roy Lichtenstein. He was doing one homage to 3 different Spanish artists. Come back here in July, you can see this beautiful beach a little bit more crowded.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
So from here we can see the cable car. This one is doing the connection with the beach, with the mountain, right? The mountain is very interesting to visit because if you go to the mountain with a cable car, you get the mountain in 5 minutes, and you can see one viewpoint that is called Miramar. Miramar in Spanish, like a look at the sea. Miramar, you can see all the city from there. If you walk a little bit more, you can see the Olympic Stadium and the Olympic swimming pool, where they were doing the competition of diving. This competition was really important in the Olympics because all the people around the world, they were watching this, they were watching this.
Wow.
Look at the pictures like this.
Wow.
Yeah?
Incredible.
1982 was one year really important for the city because the people started to come in a massive way to Barcelona.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Wow.
And everything changed in Barcelona. Many years ago was something like this.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
This is 1950s, right?
Wow.
Think about it, that all this area. Here we got in Spain between 1936 and 1939, the Civil War. So in 1938, Italian planes, Franco was allied with Mussolini. Mussolini did the bombing of the city. So all this area for many, many years was something like this.
Wow.
Sandy houses, right? Exactly. So we say that Barcelona in 1982, the city changed a lot, and we usually say that Barcelona was like this, and after that was like this, opening her arms to the beautiful world. Okay, guys, so this point is a very beautiful point, but the most important thing is behind you. Casa Milà, built by Antonio Gaudí between 1906 and 1910. Family Milà, they wanted two things: to get the best house in Barcelona, and two, show off that they got a lot of money. So, what was the problem with the house? The problem with the house is that the people didn't like the house. The people at the street, they were laughing about the house. You can see how the people, they were laughing about the house. Like this one is a real cartoon in the newspaper. Like what is that? Like a garage? Like Valencia? We don't like the house. So imagine that with this, Family Mila, they were very angry with Antonio Gaudí, and Antonio Gaudí was very angry with Family Mila, right?
Yeah.
Besides that, Antonio Gaudí here broke all the normatives for the city hall of construction, right? There was like a one normative that the maximum volume was this, Gaudí built this. Maximum height was this, Gaudí built this. And there was like a one column on the entrance that was in the middle of the pedestrian area. So the city hall arrived and they say, okay, this one I consider as a monumental building. I cannot take down the building, but I want to fine you with 3 fines because of this. So 1910, Family Mila, they were really, really angry with Antonio Gaudí, and they decided not to pay to Gaudí. They went into the court, into a trial, and after 2 years, they decided that they should pay to Gaudí. They paid to Gaudí, Gaudí took the money, and the same day donated to the church, and the city hall arrived, hello, remember me? 3 fines, volume, height, pedestrian area, so you have to pay me now these 3 fines. So Family Mila, basically, 2012, they were broke. So they were like, not very happy with Antonio. And after that, they started to rent out the apartments, and they saved some money, and they were okay again. But 1912 was a very complicated year.
Wow.
So this house, you can see that is a perfect example of how was the architecture of Gaudí that was very organic. All the time, you can see, always like no straight lines, following the nature, right? In fact, this one is representing the waves of the Mediterranean Sea. All the balconies, you can see they're like a different one of each other, representing the sea plants growing at the bottom of the ocean. If you go to the top of the house, you can see there are like 2 big holes where the sunlight is entering all day long. If you see from inside, is this one here. The newspapers, they were laughing all the time about these guys. So it's like this one is Pere Milà and this one is Gaudí. They were like fighting. So from the top, you can get a very nice view of Sagrada Familia.
But intentional then.
Our next excursion will be to the famous Sagrada Familia. As the bike tour came to a close, we stopped to admire a picture composed of thousands of smaller pictures. Afterward, we made a stop at a local bar to enjoy some refreshing drinks. Thank you for joining us on our Barcelona adventure. From stunning architecture to unforgettable experiences, we had just an amazing time. Stay tuned for more travel content, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, happy exploring!